Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello and welcome to 4 p.m. at Mona. I'm Dean Stevenson. If you've walked past me today here at the piano, you'll have seen me writing music, either that or I was on lunch. The idea of 4 p.m. is to show you the unframed art. By that I mean the stuff that isn't not only not finished, but not even made yet. So I've been spending the day at the piano making music. The musicians have not been sent the music because I only just finished it before they arrived, so they haven't seen it or played it yet. They're going to do that sight read in front of you and me. I've forgotten what it is already. And we're going to stop and start with our rehearsal. We'll ferry any questions you have about our process or what I've been doing all day. And then when we get to the end of it, we've made all our notes, we've discussed it, you've asked some questions, and then we'll play it all the way through. That's what we'll do, and that's what we've been doing now for 507 days. So it's a bit of a thing. Next weekend is the final weekend of this season, which means I get some time off, and I can do something else other than write for a string quartet. It's always a string quartet. I made that rule at the start, because I thought if it was the same 4 sounds all the time, that would increase the challenge, and I was right. It has increased the challenge. But there you go. So 507 days of showing up. There's 2 violins, viola and cello. They're making notes on their paper now because if you haven't done music before, this is the score, which is violin, viola, cello. As a composer, I write them all at the same time, but they only see their part. So they're making notes now, comparing what they've got, who they have to look for cues and such like that. If you have any questions at all, if you've never seen anything like this happen and you want to know, ask a question and we'll see what happens. Please welcome the ensemble for today of Chris, Hayato, Janet and Brett. Now, do I repeat things? Sometimes I do because we all do in our own special way. We wear the same kinds of clothes, we like the same kinds of car, we like the same kinds of food. If you're like a doodler or a sketcher, you probably draw squares rather than circles, and you do that every time. If you write songs, you probably write most of your songs in the key of G or whatever. We all like certain things, certain colours and certain melodies. For me, keep popping up, and this is the 3rd time out of 507 days as this little melody has come. If you could please play the first 5 notes, Brett. Right. Now if I had gone da 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 dee dum, if I'd settle on that note, it would be the Batman theme from Tim Burton's Batman. Ba da da dee da, because the first time I used it, someone went, "That's Batman." I went, fuck, I have to change it then. So that little da-da-da-dee, that 5 notes is like, it's a little thing that keeps coming back to me because it's obviously something I like. So this is the 3rd time I've used those 5 notes to spur on the rest of the piece. So here we go. That screen there shows my iPad. You can see the music whiz by if you can read music. If you want to read music and you can't see the screen, there's a paper copy here. You're welcome to look at while we play. Don't take it home, but you're welcome to look at it while we play. Okay. All right. That was a scurry, wasn't it? That was great. Okay, so once again, please, Brett. Lovely. Pizza. Yum. What, anyone? No. Okay, great. So that was it. Thank you, Brett. Thank you very much. That was the Brett. Beautiful. Yeah. And it's possible. There's probably several generations of everyone's family has been born and died since that cello was made. Right? When was that made? 1820. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's the first line, and now we go upbeat into A again, Brett. Finally settles down there at B. So after the comma at 17, cello and first have unison rhythms pretty much, the triplets of beats 1 and 4. Should we go from there upbeat into 17? Yep. Good, lovely. Now we go up again, the same 3 notes into letter B. If you've already got a question, or if you want to ask a question, talk to the person next to you and say, what would you ask? Because it's good to open it up to the floor, because you're probably confused and you want to know something, so you might be the brave one to start the process of asking.
Sorry, I'll start from the right places.
There we go. Let's try that one more time. Yep. Upbeat into 17. Yep. That's it. Everyone's got that staccato dot, just a little lift. Little lift on that one.
Dean, when you put a line on the crotchets, are they detached or are they long?
They're long. Oh, attached or long?
Detached.
Detached. No.
They're just long.
They're just long, yeah, they're just long, yes. Yes. Let's go from, hang on, there's a clash. I'll deal with that later. Let's go from letter B up into B again, please. Don't get too slow. Push the tempo just a bit. Cool. So let's go again from the same place. Yeah, at 26, when we're all at forte, it says push. Just really make that quite angry. Angry, I say. Angry, I say. Any questions yet? Any problems? Yes, sir.
24 and up.
How do I find deadlines?
Even that's a dim.
No. The best way to get something happening is a plan and not quite enough time. 10 o'clock in the morning. I was a bit late today, 10:15. Yeah, so not quite enough time is awesome to get stuff done, because my creative provocation is that if I didn't have a deadline, that then I'd go, just, whenever. But the thing that rubs against that for so many people, if I didn't have a deadline and if I thought I had to have an idea before I started,
Start on an up.
then I may not start anything for months. You might just go, I can't think of anything good enough, so I won't do anything. As opposed to thinking, I really enjoy myself when I'm writing music. It's the way I feel good. I want to feel good a lot, so I'm just going to do it all the time, even if I don't have an idea. I'll just make notes that sound nice, and maybe a story might come out of that. Like if I gave you a piece of paper and asked you to fill it full of words, and I gave you 3 words, bottle, carrot, and existentialism, off you go, and said you've got 5 minutes, you could fill that page with the most awful, nonsense, boring story that anyone's ever bothered to read. But the point is, you know how words work, and you know to put them in an order in such a way that we can keep reading. Same with me with music. I don't have to have a story or an inspiration. I can just make functional music as the same way you can write functional words without giving yourself a headache about not having a good enough idea. So I gave up teaching because I couldn't stand watching students who would deal with this crippling anxiety of not being able to write more than a sentence and just shitting their pants. So that's just why I do this, to sort of prove to myself and to them that you can just make 507 days of rubbish. And sometimes it's okay, but not all the time. Sometimes they're pretty good. There's albums, you can buy them in the shop. They're the days we struck gold. Yes? At the back. It's a good question, because if you're a musician, and especially if you're a composer, like we've got super sticky ears. Like if I'm waiting for the light, in my head is like I'm having the best time just from the click of the walk, don't walk button. So yes, all the time. Like if we're in a room together and I'm talking to you, but there's like a speaker nearby and playing music, I will pretend to listen to you. But I'm sorry, I'm tuning into whatever's there. Yeah, musicians are terrible like that. We're professionally rude as we actually tune into the music or to the walk button in the street. Do you know the story about the Billie Eilish tune and the walk button? Fucking, Jesus, amazing. Yeah, okay. Up into B. B again, please. Second of C. Brett Rutherford, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Yeah. All right. And if you can see on the screen, those two notes with a tie and a little pauses over them look like a sad frog face. Don't they? Yeah. Right. So there it is. And now we have, we're up to letter H. How far are we? Now, there's a fun bit coming in the tail of this piece, which needs you. So don't go away. Is there any other questions before we move on? Oh, question, yes.
And at C, you don't have you've just got a held.
I start writing the piece when the museum opens at 10 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the rule. I can't be working at it at home in the morning, and then I might have an idea on my way in to Mona. Might be in the car and whistle a song. Might kind of record the whistle on my phone. So I've got an idea, but I don't start to play the piano before I get here. Yeah, so it's good. And a question over this.
Too fast.
How?
Dante.
Good question. How often do I have a plan? How often do I not? And is that correlated to a good day, a bad day? Like today I knew I wanted to write a slow piece because I've already written 2 quick pieces the last few days and I've had gigs the last 2 nights, so I was playing guitar until 10:30 last night, so I'm toast. So today was going to be slow and melodic. So there's my plan. Start with the da-da, the few notes, there's a plan. I didn't know what notes there were last night. I did that this morning. And no, I can't associate the feeling of driving in or last night to how good it comes. Some days I go, today I feel great, and it's just awful, and vice versa. Some days I write what I think is just the worst piece in ever, and my friends send me messages saying, it was great today. Like, no, it's terrible. And I want to remove it from the world so no one sees it. So I don't know. And I'm not going to make this a way that I work in the future, but sometimes, like last weekend, I wrote a cracker of a piece with a storming hangover. So, that's not a good way to work, but it just so happened that maybe I'd sort of let go of something, so I just, whatever, so who knows, I don't know. And that's my thing about just showing up and making stuff all the time, because if you think you can only show up when you're ready, you might have that feeling 3 times a year. And then only one of those is 50% good. That's not a lot of art that you make, or not a lot of the time when you sit at your favourite thing and feel good about yourself. That's not a lot of instances in 12 months. So I think if I turn up all the time, I'm more likely to feel good a lot, even if I'm writing crap stuff. And then it's more likely that they'll be good anyway because I show up all the time. Yes, quick one. I've written orchestral stuff as well. I come from a songwriting background. The limitation of strings in here, as I said, was to increase the challenge of using the same 4 voices. And logistically, not to make you sound ordinary, because you're not, you're very special, but there's a logistic factor, which means there are more string players. Like in an orchestra, there's more strings than anything else, which means there's more players. So if Chris here was abducted by aliens this morning, and Brett, fell down a hole, there would be another violinist and another cellist I could call. If I did this for any contemporary instruments like guitar, they don't read like these guys do. This is orchestral world reading. And if there was brass, there's just not enough brass players. Woodwind, the same. So there's logistics as well. When this started, the owner of this museum, who's a gambler, wanted to roll a dice and said, today we decide what you get. Like if you get tuba, cello, kazoo and leaf blower, off you pop, but it was just too expensive. It was a ridiculous idea. Well, I made it sound ridiculous because I didn't want to do it. That was very good. We got to H. Yes, same 3 notes. J, we check the harmonies 2 before J, make sure they're okay. to just check the chords. I may have made a mistake. 2 before J. Good, lovely, thank you. It's good. From there again, and then really go big into J. Same place. 2 before J. So at K there, Brett, at K, everyone's holding the note until we get to L. So on that, it kind of cascades slowly down. Take your time.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Now, here's the ending, and this is where I need you. I've written 2 endings. This is a choose your own adventure day. You can decide how this ends. Major or minor, happy, sad, life or death, you get to choose. So let's play the first ending first. Ending number,
Yeah.
I can't do my
L is ending 1.
Okay.
So,
Chris changes.
Let's go from K. K with, and we'll just play L and then stop at the double bar lines at M. So we're going to do the first ending, okay?
Oh, I see.
From K. Into L. That's the first ending. Thank you. Now let's go from K again, and don't do L, go straight to M. Skip over L, straight to M. From K again. Right. So now do you want to hear that ending with a slightly, unbalanced major or the minor sad? Hands up for the first way we did it, the minor. And hands up for the second way, the major. I think the minor sad fuckers win. Oh, you sad, deathy, die, stabby. I know, yeah, right.
There is no hope.
There is no hope. There's no hope.
last 2 bars are gone.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so we do L.
Right.
We do M, we do L, and then everyone goes and gets a gin from the bar and gets sad. Right, now are you ready to give it a crack?
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah. We'll give it a crack from the top. Great. Does anybody have any other things they'd like to ask about the musicians or about the process of the day? Yes, over the back. Do I have a writer's block? I don't believe in writer's block. Well, writer's block in the way of, like, if you were truly blocked and you had nothing to do, then I think that's death. Because you've got nothing to think about. Writer's block is, I can't think of anything good enough. And then you have to examine what good enough is to you. If I think I don't have anything good enough, then what am I judging that against? Am I thinking I'm going to make some music and I'll be, ashamed of it? Embarrassed by it? Overwhelmed by it? Like, why would I be unwilling to make something? So writer's block is not a lack of ideas. You've got plenty of ideas. We're always thinking. You can't stop your brain from thinking. So writer's block is you just don't want to commit to something. So I try not to do that. Hence I'm talking about just showing up and making music anyway. So writer's block is that, in my opinion. I have continued to work on a piece, yes. So on this, this is the latest album. So this is my string quartet number 1 is on this. You can buy this in the shop. So there's 4 movements, and they're all movements that were made here, and I took them away and sort of built them out and polished them and corrected the mistakes that I don't see in a day. So yes, I have. I've written some symphonic works as well, which I did sort of in one of the breaks between seasons. So yeah, I do other things as well. Yeah. I usually just make lots of blue notes, as you'll see when I sit there and they play it through. Things I missed, and so I make the notes. So if I do go back and look at it, the changes, I've sketched them in. Any other questions before we give it a go? Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be on a down this time.
Oh, has affected my outlook. Anything outside of music? Wow. Outside music, I don't know. Like when I'm what? Renovations at home. Yeah, just get stuff done. Just keep hammering. That's right. I suppose the deal I've made with the Mona Devil here is that if you, let's pretend you're a poet and you write poems at home, and you didn't like them, you could set fire to them, put them in the drawer, feed them to the dog, and never show anyone, and you only show the ones that you've worked on, and then you release them. I've made a deal here that you see everything I do. So I suppose that probably gives me a bit more of a forward step into the world, just to go, I'm not always going to step in the way that looks great. So I suppose it does, whether you call that putting a bit of armour on, maybe, I don't know, but there's something about, whatever the consequence, doesn't matter. For example, I've been a kind of a guy, a musician for years, who was always the one who sort of booked gigs, made sure everyone got paid. I arranged things far into the future. So I was always the guy to get stuff done. And then I released this book. This is about 4 p.m. This is 150 of these days consecutive. This is my diaries. I published my diary, and about day 137, I had a complete mental breakdown. So from being the guy who was like, yeah, I'll get it done and it'll be good, to being someone who shows up every day, shows you all this shit, and then completely fails and has to be carried out of the museum, that's probably a bit of a game changer.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what the book is about, and essays on creativity and all the live music through that. So that the journey would be just, the armour of just showing up and getting it done. And if you don't get it done, if it's not great, like, really? Did anyone die? I used to use that line as a throwaway. No one died today, was my low bar. No one died today. I said that to my neighbours. How was your day? Oh, no one died. And then they're both police inspectors. And they said, sadly, can't say the same for our day. Oh, that was awkward. Someone said dancers to me the other day. I'd like to get some contemplative dancers. You can dance if you want. Knock yourself out. Go on. There's a big. Look at the size of that space. In fact, if everyone joined it, go on. Here we go. I guess there's probably not enough time. Maybe in bigger projects, but not on this project day to day. The collaboration is right here with these 4 musicians, because I don't play any of those instruments. So the collaboration is they have to tell me how it works and change it on my behalf. I suppose I don't necessarily insert the challenge of changing time signatures. As you're noticing today, there is lots of changes of time signatures. That's just because the phrase, in my mind, determined that it had to change. Not because I think, today I'm going to write a piece in 1711 and make it really hard for myself. I haven't really done that, no. Because I'm always looking for a melody, and melodies rarely happen with difficult time signatures. That's my math anyway. Let's go with today. Ready?
Yeah, so sense of the tempo you want at the very beginning, just feel from you.
I think if we go any slower, it can get a bit muddy. Right? Up and into J, up and into J, up and into J, comma. Chris, Hayato, Janet and Brett. There we go. Thank you so much. You chose the sad ending. It's your fault you're leaving in a sad mood, not mine. Thank you. Come and have a chat about what you just saw, or the recordings, or the book, or the stuff's available in the shop upstairs. I'll pop up in 5 minutes and sign one if that's what you'd like. Otherwise, have a lovely week. Thank you so much for your time, and take care. Bye-bye.